What's up people, Criddle here from the AnimeBallZ team with this week's chapter of Fairy Tail, Chapter 489, Universe 1. Cover page this week is Eileen holding up a single finger which is overlaid with the number 1, tying us to the chapter title and potentially connecting us and Eileen with the chapter title, making it her ability, I guess, maybe? I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. We're straight back to Team Natsu at the start of this chapter with August having just powered up. The look of fear on everyone's faces just shows how powerful this guy is compared to anyone they've faced before. And he still has the glare on his face, though the markings that come with his power are pretty cool. Brandish says Grandpa again, clearly still shaken from what Mess has done to her, and what she's done in turn. August thrusts out a hand, which is still normal coloured, meaning only his face is powered up, which I guess means something, I'm not sure. He knocks out Brandish and she drops to the ground. Lucy goes to run to her side, but the look in August's eye causes Natsu to leap at Lucy, tackling her to the ground. We get Mest's shocked face as something is coming, and August tells everyone to dissolve into oblivion, with a huge magical attack, causing the members of Fairy Tail to scream out as they are all hit by the powerful attack. The beacon of light is lit, and Gondor requires aid. Oh, wrong series, never mind. Anyway, the beacon of light can clearly be seen from Magnolia, and everyone realizes that the light is coming from where Team Natsu are. We cut to beneath the guild and Kana using fairy glitter, blasting Mavis with a powerful attack. There is a drained and almost conflicted look on Kana's face as she obliterates Mavis, and the look turns to pain. She's drained after the attack and calls out to the first, only to see the crystal encasement crack. It cracks more and finally Mavis comes bursting out. Conveniently placed debris allows her to fall safely to Kana, who catches her and is still calling out to her. Mavis opens her eyes and then complains about muscular atrophy. She's completely unable to move. And then Kana gets a relieved look on her face. She has succeeded. We cut to Eileen and Acnologia squaring off. Eileen confidently states, "Shall we begin?" And we get angry Acnologia face. Eileen activates her staff and Acnologia is actually concerned. I mean, seriously, this guy has been an arrogant bastard since the beginning, and there is a legitimate concern on his face. He blocks a ball of flame that pushes him into the ground, cracking it beneath him. He acknowledges that this is an atmospheric enchantment. Eileen is seemingly able to control the air around her with her magic. Eileen activates her staff again and Acnologia is thrown backwards, crashing through the terrain. He grounds himself, sliding into a stop, and he comments that her ability is to bestow and affix her magic unto all things, and refers to her as a high enchanter. He begins to laugh and explodes the ground beneath Eileen's feet. She flips, landing with ease, and still having her cocky look on her face. Acnologia makes small talk about Zeref being the one to teach Eileen. Eileen returned the compliment to Acnologia, noting that Zeref fears him. She also makes a mention of Fairy Heart, and it's really interesting to see that she actually says the word if. After all her comments in previous chapters, even she isn't giving a 100% guarantee that everything will succeed. Acnologia and Eileen continue to exchange words between the two of them. He then states that if Eileen wants him to hold off until Zeref is ready, he won't wait. Eileen shrugs this off, but states that she doesn't want Acnologia in their way. She says she'll have to make Zeref get his act together. She taps her staff to the ground and says she wants to bring a swift conclusion to the war. The white light begins to blast out from her staff. Acnologia is confused. He doesn't recognize the magic. Eileen acknowledges this, stating that her magic is magic of the new era. Acnologia questions her ability, asking if she's enchanting the whole earth. Eileen confirms this, specifying that she controls all of Fior. Acnologia questions who Eileen is, and what she says next strikes me as very odd. "I am called Eileen. I do hope we'll meet again someday. Oh great Acnologia." We start cutting to the various groups, starting with Levi and Lily, as light begins to cover the entire kingdom. The siblings, Sabretooth, Grey's group, Di Maria, Kana and Mavis, and then Zeref, who is shocked that Eileen would use the magic that she has used. World Reconstruction Magic, Universe 1. And we are to be continued in Chapter 490, Fairy Tail 0. So Eileen's technique was one that really struck me as quite odd, especially the wording, World Reconstruction. I hunted around to find either the Raw or another Scanlation group, but it seems everyone was running off the chapter that Mangastream translated. So World Reconstruction. I don't really know how to interpret that, and I haven't been able to find a second reading of this chapter in order to sort of make a comparison and see whether that's the direct translation or whether that's a bastardization. It feels weird to have a repeat of Altier's ability with the timey-wimey stuff that cost her life, but then again a version that resets Fior to a time before, I'm not sure if that couldn't be done. Time travel has been done before in both this series and Rave, so to put that past Hiramashima would be foolish. Maybe it's just wishful thinking that has Eileen use the magic to turn back time on a whole bunch of people. Maybe it's a way to weaken Acnologia and bring him back to his human state, and she needs all the magic in viewer to do so, which would make a lot of sense. But the flip of that is that she restores everyone back to when they were alive, including Ajil. I know, I'm a fanboy. Sue me. And then there's the chapter title for next week, Fairy Tale Zero. That's the name of an offshoot of the main series that focuses on the formation of Fairy Tail and the whole Zero is Bruce Willis the whole time thing. Maybe because Mavis is free and she mentioned about freeing her and Zero, that we're going to get some weird flashback, turn back the pendulum or something which has Zero appear to Mavis, or be another spiritual embodiment that acts like Mavis did previously. Really not sure, but I'm curious to find out what it will be. It's not like Zero actually ever had any magical ability or was able to do anything in the series. I mean, in Fairy Tail Zero, spoiler alert for Fairy Tail Zero, if you haven't read that series, if you've got a plan to read it, stop listening to me now, go read it, come back. Zero is actually dead the whole time, and Mavis just invents her with her magical ability and just is constantly seeing her throughout the whole series. No one makes any contact with her at all. It's kind of like the janitor in the first season of Scrubs, how no one actually directly interacts with him, and it was just one of those things that they did. But yeah, really not sure what's going to happen, and I'm really curious to find out what this will actually turn out to be. Either way, I'm Criddle, this has been Chapter 489 of Fairy Tail, Universe 1, and I will catch you guys on the flip side.